So this is the last video in the first series, where we're just going over the hardware and learning the basics. And in this video, we're going to focus on the two controls at the top here, labeled control and step, and the shift function of step, which is instance. So the first thing we're going to look at is instance, and that's accessed by holding down shift and step. But we're not going to access that mode just yet. I want to show you what's going on with the software side of Maschine right here. So I've got Maschine loaded up into Ableton Live, and I've actually got the Maschine software loaded on two different channels. Now the first instance is called Planet Kit, because that's the kit I've got loaded in there. And I'll just play that one for you. And the next one is Retrobit, again named after the kit that's loaded into that instance. And there you can hear both instances playing together. So the question arises, if we have multiple different instances loaded into a project, which instance does the Maschine hardware actually control? So that's exactly what the instance function takes care of for us. If we press shift and step, we enter into the instance choose mode, and we get to choose which instance we want to control with the Maschine hardware. So all I need to do now is use the encoder to make my selection, and you can see here the dotted box outline showing me which instance I've selected, and then I just need to push down the encoder. And so now I've got control of the Planet Kit instance. What I could do is just come in here and mute the entire kit, and then we just listen to the other instance to start with, and then I can bring in this kit whenever I want to. And I could do live performance things like mute the kit, and then just bring in the kick, and so on. Now there's another way to do this. If we go into the software itself, there's an icon that resembles the Maschine hardware right here in the top. And if we click on this, it'll actually make Maschine control this particular instance. So it's another way to do the same thing. And so that's the instance function right there in a nutshell. Now as for the control mode, that's the mode we've been operating in since the beginning of this tutorial. What we haven't looked at yet is step. Now step is a really cool mode, I use it all the time. And what it does is allow you to use the Maschine pads as a step sequencer. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just unmute all these sounds that I muted earlier. And next I want to clear this pattern so I can start from scratch. Okay, so now we're going to go into the step mode, and we can begin to program a new pattern. So the pads now represent one bar of music in 16 divisions. So a 4x4 kick pattern would look like this, and you just simply enter and remove notes just by pressing down the pads. Now if I press play, you can see the lights running along the grid showing us where the playhead is. And currently my pattern is 2 bars long, so I'm just going to reduce it to 1 bar. And now we can just go ahead and enter in our events wherever we like on the grid. That's my 4/4 kick. And notice that I have fixed velocity on, so I don't have to worry about how hard or soft I'm hitting the pads right now. Okay, so let's switch up to another sound here. And what I used to do when I was new to Maschine was I used to come out of this mode and go into control mode just to select my new sound and then go back into step mode. Now that's long-winded and unnecessary. You can instead just stay in step mode, hold down select, and make your selection with the pads. So I think it'd be nice to go with a closed hi-hat here. And let's just enter those in on the offbeats. That's nice. Let's load up the clap. So that's nice. I want to add a little bit of variation and make the pattern a little bit longer. So I'm going to go into the pattern mode. And I'm just going to double the pattern. So that's just going to copy everything I've got in the first bar into the second bar. So since the pads can only represent 1 bar at a time, when there's more than 1 bar, the playhead will move on to the next page. So we can use the arrow button here to go to the next page. And there's also a neat follow function here, and this will just make sure that we follow the playhead, so we're always looking at the current bar. So this is such a fun and easy way to lay down beats in Maschine, especially if you're doing techno and 4/4 based stuff. Now something to keep in mind while we're in step mode is that all these cool functions that we've been learning about in the pad modes here are still available to us. Now one mode I want to use now is the event select, and I'm going to use it to select the claps. So now that I've got those selected, I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to use the nudge function here. Nice. I would like some finer resolution on this nudge control though, so I'm going to go into grid mode, step, and increase the resolution.
So now I've got much finer control over where I put the claps. Now there's a final mode I want to look at up here, which is the MIDI mode. And I just want to show you what this does. Basically, if you hold down Shift and hit Control, it sets Maschine up as a MIDI controller. So all the different controls here will send out different CC values, and you can use this to control things in your DAW or other MIDI hardware. Now it's not something we really have time to cover in this tutorial. I just wanted to let you know it's there in case you're wondering what it does. So that really concludes our look at the basic hardware functions of Maschine. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. Maschine is a fantastic system, and I've had a great time demonstrating its features to you. Stay tuned for more videos on Maschine in the future. My name is Sammy, thank you very much for watching, and take care.